Welcome to the Lion's Den, and I'm Mufasa, big boss in charge of coming in like a bull. You see me raising the stock up.
Welcome to the Backstage Pass podcast with your host, Ashley Lakomowski at Fittest Ash Ever.
And your host, Valerie Rattel at Valerie Rattel. So today's episode, a little surprise, kind of. So last minute, we decided to do an episode about love and everything around it because it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. So we just thought it would be cool to kind of talk about relationship, dating, and I know you guys on the Instagram also asked to like get on the subject. So I think that's going to be fun because obviously I'm single, she's married, so you guys have kind of like both sides, you know.
It gives you guys a good perspective on like where I'm at, even now being married, Val being single and happily singled. Kind of. No, she is. She's happy single.
I am actually.
You get to that point where you're happy. But yeah, so we have a bunch of things we wanted to really start off with and what we wanted to talk about. And then I have a little bonus round at the end. So you guys have to watch the full podcast to get to the end. So it'll be fun.
To be clear, I have no idea what she's talking about. So I'm a little bit scared here, but we'll see.
I kind of
We'll
wondered.
get there.
I was like, I have a little something, and then I was like, okay, like you can wait and see because I don't want to ruin it. And I want like your reaction, like your real reaction, not just like a fake, like, oh, you know, so.
I know I'm like the worst at Christmas when like I have to open gift. I'm so not like I guess expressive. I hate it so much. I'm like
you're like
so
you're like
you'll
reading, like, what do you think?
Yeah, you'll see my expression. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I want to start off with kind of more questions for you, being obviously married for how long have you been married and like even just a relationship with Mike?
So Mike and I have been together, I think it's been going on like, it'll be like 11 years in July. Yeah, it'll be 11 years in July that we've been together. We'll be married for 7 years in July. So our anniversary is July 23rd. We'll be married for 7 years. It's crazy because we've been together for 11 years, right? So I felt like I was already like married to him when I met him.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like it's so rare now.
It
I
is.
love
And I feel like our situation, it was like different circumstances, right? Like the way that we met and just being best friends first. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you guys. So you guys were friends before. So just to be clear, like for like you guys that are listening, me and Ashley like have been known each other for like what, like maybe a year. Like
Yeah.
not even like that. Like when was it? Was maybe September when I came. No,
Yeah. No, I think it was in September. I think it wasn't September because I know it was before Thanksgiving, wasn't it?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was something around like it was still summertime, like here. So anyway, like just to say, it's been less than a year, so that we can like know each other and like starting to know like a lot. So a lot of things that I'm gonna ask too is like for my own because there's a lot of things I don't know about obviously about you, and I'm like, there's a lot of things we're gonna, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into to kind of
Yeah.
like this is how me and Val get to know each other even more, like us like getting to know each other as well as like getting to know you guys, like you guys getting to know us, right? With us getting to know each other. So
Yes.
obviously Val, I feel like how we spoke before, Val, like I feel like you can know somebody for a year, for 6 months, I don't know, 3 months, but you feel like you've known them for a lifetime, right? Like, and so I feel like when you meet those people, you just feel like that. So me and Val are just like, it's like we would like almost like we're friends for like years, but we're still getting to know each other, which I feel like is really the fun part, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like the same thing in the relationship, right? You're like, it's crazy when people are like, oh, we've been together for like a year, like or two, and then like you don't realize how much you don't know about that person still, even if it's like your boyfriend, your like girlfriend, and then it's like that's why it's like it's always obviously like work to like be in a relationship because every year, every day you learn something new about someone.
Yes. And I guess I could say that about, married life.
Mm.
I feel like you're constantly getting to know each other. And even now being together, it'll, 11 years in July, it's like I'm still getting to know him, but not really. I think now I'm at the point where it's like I know him so well that sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, you know what I mean? Like like those certain things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's but
You're
not
like,
that like
oh,
I say oh God, like oh my gosh, but it's just like that's why it's like fun going and doing spontaneous things or doing things that you really enjoy doing together. And like we found that us two being together, we love traveling.
mm.
That makes us happy. We love creating, like, Mikey shooting and me, like us. We really enjoy doing that, and we also just enjoy being at home and doing nothing.
Yeah. Do you sometimes like do like new things just to like, I don't know, just get out of your routine, I guess, or
Yeah, I would say so. We'll go do something, or like, hey, let's go bowling. You know what I mean? Let's go do something random, and we'll do it, and we're like, that was cool, and then we'll do it maybe like once again, like next year comes maybe one more time. You know what I mean? So like we'll do like
no, a once a year thing.
like once a year we'll do something new like that. But I think that that's what really helps a marriage, you know what I mean, a relationship just in general, to keep it like funky and
Yeah.
try those different things, even if it's just going, hey, let's go bowling, and then you end up like, this was fun, even though it was like an hour, you know what I mean? Then you get home and I'm like, man, I'm exhausted.
I know. It's like that. I feel like I've been to places that I was like, okay, I want like in the future, I want a relationship that like the other because I'm like, I love being at home. So like, I feel like I would be the person being like, oh, I'm fine to chill and stuff, and I love doing like other things. Like, I mean, I'm from Quebec, so like we would go like snowmobile, we go all those things. I used to snowboard all the time.
Hmm.
So I was like, I feel like I need maybe someone who would can like push me to like, go do activities and stuff, because I'm more the person who will be. I would love to do activities, but I need someone to pull me there, because if not, I'll be like, I'm fine just chilling, like. But then sometimes I'm like, oh, like I don't
You,
like going to activities all the time. I don't think I can do this.
I think you're like Mikey in that way too, though. Like, I feel like if I'm like, hey, let's go do this, like he's like, okay, like let's go, I'll go do it, you know what I mean? Or I'll try it. But honestly, personally, like he would prefer just to like, hey, I'm comfortable staying here, not doing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really quick, just for you guys and you guys that don't know, Mike is my husband, obviously, and he's actually like in recovery. He used to be, and he wouldn't care if I share this.
Mm,
He is a recovering heroin addict, and it's been years. And so for me, when we met, I like to go out like and go drink socially. You know what I mean? I go out on the weekends, have some drinks, and I really enjoy going out socially and doing something. And so, when we ended up moving to Texas, I didn't really go out and do that because of Mike. You know what I mean? Like that's not fun for me, for us to go out and me drinking and him being sober. It's like, it's just for me, I want the other person to be kind of doing it too with me. Otherwise, I feel like, hey, they're not having fun. They're not enjoying this. Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I felt bad. So that part is different from us. Like, I like to go out socially and do that. And so now I do that, going out like, hey, like once a month with friends, hanging out and doing something so I can kind of get that out. Otherwise, I feel like a part of me is like just gone.
Yeah.
And plus, but now I don't really like to drink anymore because
Yeah.
it's.
I like to have a good glass of wine like here
Yeah.
and there, but like if I don't drink for like months, I'm fine. But I think that's
Mhm.
also like, well, first thing I think like you and Mike, like your like story is like very like interesting, and like that's something I would love to like go into
Thanks.
like in another episode, and like just how you guys like can like went through that and work like through that. But I think also like you said, things that you cannot do with your partner, I think it's important to also have time that like things that you love to do still, you still do it for yourself or you do it with girlfriend. Because I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of people get in a relationship and they forget their friends and they forget, everyone around, and then they get so consumed and they're always together and they also forget, like, they lose themselves. And I think that's a problem too, to not being able to let your boyfriend go, like, do their own thing, and like let your girlfriend do their own thing. And then when you guys get together, then it's better.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, I missed you.
Yeah, yeah. Or you go to parties and like the couple are like still always together. It's like, go, like,
Oh,
go see your
no.
friend. Like, go away. No kidding.
Go talk to your friends. And then after you're looking around and where is he? Where is she?
Yeah. But
Right?
then it's like, have you like, I feel like also you go to like some, I say parties, but even if it's like New Year's or whatever, and then you see couples that also don't talk to each other the whole night, and you're like, you know, I feel like it's weird too, though.
Yeah, I know. You know what's funny is that me and Mike have done that a few times just because we're comfortable like being that way, right? Like you know us, you've been with us to kind of see.
Yeah.
And I remember people just question us like, man, that's kind of weird, and they kind of
Mm.
our relationship. And I'm like, no, we're like, you know, people thought we were like, swingers.
I
You know what I mean?
don't know if it,
I don't know if I told you that before, but yeah, but people thought that
no,
because, every
because you
time,
guys wouldn't like talk to each other, you would talk to other people.
like, just because we're not around, and then he'd be comfortable talking to, how he is, Valerie
Yeah.
is with you, and like other women, and then I'm that same way, but you know what I mean? So then people can take that nowadays in a way that's like, and it's like, no, we're just really comfortable with each other. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like we've been
Well,
through a lot, you know what I mean? And we've worked, you know what I mean? But like, we're so comfortable with each other in the sense of like I don't, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like we know at the end of the day, like it's me and him.
Well, that's the thing. You guys like, trust each other, and I think that's a big problem too. Is people doesn't trust their partner, so when they go somewhere, it's like me and you both were like, we said it, we're like bros that have more guy friend, like close guy friend, than like girls friends. And I've never been a girls, never had a group of like girlfriend. Like when I was a bit younger, but I was always like,
Mm.
I'm always more like friends with the guys, and then
Yeah.
it's like it's really like hard now with like our generation. It's like people get like insecure so much that like you need to be so careful, especially when they have a girlfriend. And I think that's why like the second you're like you see someone who has a girlfriend talking to the girl or being like more friend with some girls or like guys with
Yeah, totally.
people assume stuff, but if your relationship is very strong, there shouldn't be any problem. Obviously, there's a respect to be there, to have there, but yeah.
But yeah, that's marriage life. You find you know what I mean? I don't know. You just find your way through it. And I don't know. It's been fun. I feel like as the years have gone on, it's like the more you get to know that person and you have like your ups and downs no matter what. There is no fairy tale.
Mm,
There is no fairy tale. It's actually getting to know that person. I feel like a lot of people, when it gets tough, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm not meant for this. Like, I can't deal with this crap. This person's not for me. Like, we just don't. I mean, I could say that, Mike could say that there are certain things, but like, everybody has their flaws. You know what I
well,
mean?
nobody's perfect, right?
Perfect, but like, you just know. You know what I mean? Like, you just know when it's the person for you. But I just think people give up too fast. Like, it's just like, oh, I'm out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm out.
So when you guys met each other, did you guys had a relationship with God, like both, or you guys kind of like grew into your faith together?
Mike and I both grew up, like I grew up in a Pentecostal church and grew up like very like it was Pentecostal, if you guys don't know. It's like a little bit more strict than Christian. Like,
Mm,
going to church, like you couldn't see rated R movies. You wear skirts a little bit longer.
mm-hmm.
Um, there were just like certain more restrictions. But now I'm gonna be honest with you. Now being older, I look at it And there's a lot of truth to some things because
Of like things being strict.
of even like the movies and stuff. Like we are so influenced, our children are so influenced by certain things that it can cause things. But that's for another topic. But anyways, we so he and then Mikey grew up Catholic, right? So he grew up in that. So
But Catholic is pretty strict too. They have some certain rules that
very, very. So it's still very like the relationship with Jesus is different. It's like you don't really necessarily have just this relationship with him. Like you don't, you know? And so like when we met each other, we both had believed, but it wasn't like I was going to church and where I'm at now in my life. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so when we met, obviously Mikey being an addict, me meeting him, I was just wanting to be single. I didn't want anything to do with anybody, with any guy. I didn't want to be in a relationship because I knew that I had been through such like just toxic situations that like I was like, I need to heal. Like I need to like figure out really what I want because I'm going for the wrong dudes. You know what I mean? Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm attracted to the wrong dudes. Then here Mike shows up, and I'm like, Lord, what's going on here? I knew something was a little bit off with him, is because he had his problem.
Yeah.
His soul was beautiful, like the way that he is. He's the same person, but there was like this side to him that I don't know why I've always been attracted to that, is like the quietness of someone, because I'm curious about him, like what's going on? Like there's something they're hiding and I want to get deeper into this. It's so stupid when I think
It's almost creepy. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, it is like almost like it's like my like I don't know, like detective. I'm like, I'm gonna figure this out. We're gonna get down to the bottom of this. And so,
Yeah.
anyways, long story short, ended up finding out. He ended up coming out and like he was like, yeah, and he was like at his rock bottom, you know, when I met him. And I just felt like in that situation, I was like, run. Like I was like, run as fast as you can. Like, Ashley, this is exactly situations you were in before. But Mike was so different. It was something that he didn't want to be chained to. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't want to, I mean, knowing addicts, they don't want to be where they're at. That's awful.
Yeah.
You know, and so I just knew that God was like, I just knew this. It was crazy. Even though my faith wasn't as where it's at now, the whole way, the only reason why, like, I think what kept me going to be with Mikey, and I hope that doesn't sound weird because I wanted to be with him, but it was scary because I was scared something, you know what I mean? Like me being in this relationship, I was worried that, man, I'm in this situation where it could really hurt me. Right.
Yeah.
And so, but I felt like my spirit kept on telling me, just stay. He's going to get help. Things are going to be better. It was more like, just stay with him.
Yeah.
Really, I guess I could explain what I heard in my head was like, just stay with him. Give it time, Ashley, be patient. And finally, over like a couple years, he kind of was still going through the same problem. Stay with him, fight with him. And all of a sudden there was one night where he was like, Ashley, he was shoveling snow, and he was like, I came home from work. So I was bartending. So I'd come home late, and I got there and he's like, Ashley, he's like, God spoke to me. And I was just looking at him like, I didn't not believe him, but I was thinking, okay, is he on one?
Yeah. Or like, is it saying that because you like, you know, you want to hear it?
And I was like, but then I believed him. He's like, Ashley, I'm going to be saved. Like, I know, like he told me, like, I'm going to be healed and we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. And I just remember like he was crying, and I was like, I believe you. I believe you. I know you will. And I was always very just hopeful and had faith, and was always like, I know, Nikki, I know, like, you know, it's going to be good, honey. And like, you know, maybe like a few weeks later, then all of a sudden a rehab popped up in Houston, Texas. And his parents had seen as well. And they both like were like, we've seen this rehab. And Mike previously to this had been to many rehabs, and these rehabs, nothing for him. So I think for Mike, he was like, this is my last, like, I want help. I want help because as you know, being an addict, like you have to want the help. You want, like, you have to get to your
Yeah.
point. And
Yeah.
he was like, I can't live like this. I'm going to die. Because he had a couple incidents where like he was going to die. And so I was like,
Mhm.
okay. And so he ended up, long story short, he ended up going to Houston. He was there for a month. He was saved. He told me a story of getting down on his knees and crying and just surrendering. And he was like, he's like, he read the whole Bible while he was there. It was like, it was a beautiful. And I remember this, I will always say this, is that when he came back to the airport, when we picked him up from the airport, his eyes were like bright green. Like
Oh,
before he left, his eyes were, they were like black.
dark. Yeah.
He, because Satan was just had such a hold on him, and there was such evil in him, but it was like trying to, like, you know what I mean? It was Satan, I felt like was just trying to kill him. He was trying to kill him, and he was just so close. And I felt like, I just, every time I talk about it, sometimes it makes me like teary eyed because I
And
remember,
I'm like so close to cry. I'm like, it gives me chills.
I know, because it's just, and that's where we really, like I said, we always believed, you know what I mean? And, but this was like, whoa. And I remember Mikey was like, he was on a high. Like he was like, Mikey actually wanted to be a pastor when we moved to Texas. He
Mm,
ended up moving, he wanted to be a pastor, and he got into like the theology and was like doing all these things. And I always tell him this. I remember feeling, a part of me felt almost envious of him. Even though I was happy that he was saved, a part of me was almost like, man, I wish I had that relationship. You know what I
yeah.
mean? And I remember telling Mikey, like, man, what about me now? Because I felt like my selfish part was like, man, I've been with you through this, through this hell, and now you're saved, which I'm happy, but now I feel like I feel a little incomplete. I felt incomplete. I felt like, okay, did my job. What about Ashley? Is
Yeah.
how I felt, and not realizing that it was my time, that I needed to really, put focus on Ashley again. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I needed to find that relationship um, with Jesus.
It's
And
like you put so much into him
yeah,
and like him to heal, but then you were like, okay, like now it's like I need to like, get closer to God and like, find
yes. And
like strengthen that.
one thing, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you because I just had that thought really quick, and I want to say it before I forget, is that like that's what relationships are, is you give, not like trying to like, okay, I need something out of this, but you give because when you're in a relationship, sometimes the other person's going to be down, and
Yeah.
you have to be there for them, and you can't think, what about me? What about me? You give when
Yeah.
that person's down, right? And then when they're back up and you're down, then they're there for you. So it's a relationship where it's like you both give to each other. There's no like,
Mm,
we got to be at the same time all the time. No, it's not how it works. And that
yeah.
gets tough in relationships because people they don't want to be selfless. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's so good. And like the thing is, like, well, I think the first thing is, you gave so much grace to Mike when like he was going through all of that, and like you said, you could have left like so easily,
Yeah.
and then you stayed with him. But I think obviously like having, like you said, you weren't like as close to God at the time, but you still had the relationship with God and belief and faith. So I think like all that brought you to like stay with him and like gave him grace and belief that he could be like saved, and
Mm-hmm.
he did. And like I don't know, I just think it's beautiful. And then it's I think, I don't know, as much as I just don't, it's hard to like for me to even think of like, okay, if you're, it's hard because not everyone believes in God or have a relationship with God. And like obviously I'm also new into that, but I think that's why people have such a hard time to like stick in a relationship, and like everything fell because it's such like secular relationship, and
Yes.
they don't put faith. They just like they quit so easily. They're selfish. They believe, they just think about themselves,
Yes.
and they forget to like give grace. And like you said, like love is also like unconditional love
Mhm.
is also just, loving someone, helping them without like asking anything in return. And if nothing in return, I mean, at the end of the day, like not that you have nothing in return, but you have their love and you have that relationship, which is like the best gift you can have. But
Yes.
we stay human and we're like, okay, what about me? And we get
Mhm.
stuck in like obviously wanting something in return sometime.
Yeah, no, for sure. And like you said, like when I feel like when God is the center of a relationship, it makes you see things so differently, you know? It really
Y-
does. And that's why it just helps because we're all human. We all have sinful things about us, of our flesh, thoughts and stuff like that.
mhm.
But I feel like when God's the center, it's like you look at it and you're like, nah. You know what I mean? That's not right. That's not right. Like that's not from him. You know what I mean? That's just so it makes you really like have that okay, that clarity.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not for
Yeah.
that's not God, right?
And give you patience too, right? It's like
Very much. Very much.
need a lot of patience.
I know.
Saying that from a girl who's not in a relationship, but you need a lot of patience.
I know, but I also feel like God has such a sense of humor. He's so funny. Cracks me up a lot. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's where I get like I don't know, he's so funny.
He's funny, sometimes he's not. You're like,
That's why you got to be careful what you pray for.
I know. I still have a hard time with that. I'm
Yeah.
like, I pray and I'm like, should I even be
I know.
praying that?
I've done that too. I'm like praying. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm gonna take that one word back,
Yeah.
Lord.
I'm like, can I erase some stuff here?
I'm like, you know my heart. You know that's not really what I mean.
Yeah, I know. You're like, okay, my word. I'm like, oh no, it's like it's all about my heart. So whatever I say doesn't count.
Yeah. Let's
But
get on you now. Let's see. Okay. So we really kind of spoke about marriage, what it's like for me. You know what I mean? Valentine's Day doesn't really, you know, we still enjoy our Valentine's Day. Love Day is every day, whenever
yeah.
it is.
Do you do anything special or like anymore or like
So one thing I think what we really do, like I had told you yesterday, Val, is Mike
making
is
babies? No, I'm kidding.
I know. Well, we'll see. Maybe next year. Maybe making, but no babies yet.
Wait for me. So
I
we can
know.
be pregnant.
I know. Come on. Well, I
You
guess
might be waiting for a while, but
no, I hope not. You need to find someone that's like, hey, let's have a baby. Because think about this, Val.
first date. No, I'm
I'm
kidding.
36. I can't be
I
have babies
know.
at 40.
I know.
So I'm gonna say maybe another year. I would, I want a family. Me and Mikey actually spoke about it, and I'm actually down. If my body will let me, I will have 5 kids. I would. I want like a big family. I think because like I grew up so far, like age wise, my sister's 7 years older than me.
Mm,
My brother's like, I don't know, like 10, 11. Like, and so like I felt like I was always kind of honestly, I always felt like I was the only child. I did.
yeah.
Because I'm so much younger and I'm a nuisance to my sister. It was like
Yeah.
annoying that annoying little sister. And so like I want a family where they're like all like, they're all like
Yeah.
and
All
stuff.
close. Yeah. Trust me, I have a older brother. He's like 2 years, I think, older. And I feel like that sometimes. I'm like, one brother is enough.
You're like, that's enough, no more.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see though.
Mm,
I may have only have like we'll see. We'll see what God gives us. I don't know.
yeah.
But I hope I have like I at least want a boy and a girl. I do. I would love to have a boy and a girl.
I
That'd be
know.
the
We're little twins.
Oh my gosh, please.
Okay,
Gosh,
no, but for real, what do you do special on like do you do anything special on Valentine's or
usually Valentine's Day, um, I'll usually have Mike cook for me. I like a meal. I think I used to like to go out to eat before, but I feel like
yeah.
yeah, there's not like I don't know, it depends on where it's at, but usually like a steak and like I usually like a good steak, a dessert, and I don't know, potato or salad. I don't know. I know it sounds so boring, but um
A good steak is like the best
just
though.
right, just like a nice dinner. And Mikey is a poet. He doesn't tell everybody, but like I told you, like he writes me poems, and that's always been like my favorite gifts. is him writing me something really sweet because he's so good with his words. And for me, I just like thoughtful gifts.
Yeah.
So thoughtful little poem, even maybe like a funny gift. I like the funniness too. I like the humor and dinner. But every Valentine's Day, I feel like I've been on prep.
Oh, I know.
So I can't really
Uh,
you know what I
a
mean?
steak.
I don't care though anymore. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But usually we'll just even go out to dinner. Um, nothing like, I don't know,
Something chill.
something super chill.
You're like, can I go to the restaurant in joggers? That would be me. Oh my god.
Go what? Wait,
Oh.
what
Like I would be like, can we go to the restaurant in joggers?
now? I think we actually did before. I think I was like, "Can you I just like dress like super comfy, but like the top is like at least I'll be like
Yeah.
a little bit." I know, isn't that bad?
I
You're
know.
like,
Probably a little bit, but not. I
yeah.
would do it.
What about you?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think I've been like the last Valentine's Day that I remember was with my ex, probably like 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Probably 7. Oh my God. I've been
God,
here for 5 years. I was single a year before that. So probably 7. This is insane. And
you know,
that was awful. That was awful. I think it was coming from like expectation, and I was just like disappointed and I got kind of like annoyed and mad. It was just not a good relationship anyway. So like, and I haven't been on date like or Valentine's Day really. So, but for me, I'm like I'm very like chill though. Like if you like, we can go for a nice dinner, but like it doesn't need to be over the top. Like just nice steak or even just bring me some like somewhere fun that we especially as like more like dating wise. Like if
yeah.
you're like getting to know someone, bring me somewhere that like we'll have fun. We're gonna laugh, we can talk. Don't bring me to the movie. It's the worst probably first date. But like, just something chill or like I'm not much like a flower person, but at the same time, like anything that's just like a little like something an attention, right?
Yeah.
Um, but
More like
I don't know.
you like more like thoughtful stuff, Val, like kind of more
Yeah,
like he's just thinking of you like, hey, like I know that she likes this restaurant or I know that she likes this kind
yeah,
of food.
yeah. Or like I think the like coolest thing, which is like I don't even know if guys does that anymore, but like be very like spontaneous, I guess, or like surprising, it's like, oh,
Yes,
like go grab the girl. Okay, I guess like you don't always know where that person lives, but like I don't know, like write her a card or go get her, like don't tell her where you're going, just tell her like what to dress, let's say, and then be
I
like,
love
I'm bringing you somewhere. Like it's like I feel like that this world and like this generation is missing of like romance. Like just like it doesn't have to be big, but just something like,
it is.
like
It's like they don't
surprise me.
like
Surprise me.
lazy. There's a lot of just like
Yeah.
lazy people.
Yeah.
Chivalry. You know what I mean? Like what happened to chivalry? You know what I mean? Like the
I
men that
know.
do the nice things and the surprises and stuff. Like you guys are listening, like us women love that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like do a little like movie theater like with a projector and then bring her and like I don't know. Okay. I'm watching too many movies, but
No.
still it's not a I feel like I don't know if it's like a girl thing, but like for me I'm like very intentional. So like it's like I love doing little things for like the person I either like well like or and
You're
even if it's just uh
I said you're very giving. Like you're very like you like to show like people that you care about like presence and like
yeah, and like attention, like little things. So like I would go like so out of my way to make sure to make them feel special if it's like their birthday or like things like that. So but I feel like I don't know if it's more of like a girl thing again.
I think so. Cause remember I was telling you yesterday, Val, you have to tell the guy, you have to tell them what you want, guys, girls. You have to tell them what you want because
Yeah.
guys are not like they're not mind readers. And like a lot of times they forget because their brains are different than ours. So like with Mike, I've had to tell him, this is what I like. These are the things that I like. And when I constantly tell him that, then he'll know like when something comes up, birthday or like these little holidays, like he knows, okay, Ashley likes something thoughtful. She likes food and, the poem or whatever, right? So
Yeah.
he does that for me. And I'm like, good job. Like, see, so we have to sometimes just tell them either the guy's got bad memory, he doesn't remember. That's why you just have to constantly,
Mm.
please don't take it personal unless he really just doesn't care or he's not listening. You know what I mean? But I feel like you just have to tell them what you need and they'll do it.
Or could it be like missing of like confidence? Like I need to be like pick like some like guy's brain at some point. We need to like have some guys just pick their like brain of like, I don't know if it's like also, maybe they think of that, but they don't have the guts to like do it. It's like to be scared to be rejected. And I guess like for girls too, like I think like the biggest thing for me sometimes is like, should the girl, take the first leap and like go ask a guy out on the first date, or like, or should be like, oh no, I'm gonna wait for him to. But then at the same time, if you wait, but maybe he's like, well, she's probably not interested. I don't know. So it's like the limbo of like, okay, like, do I take the leap? Do I don't? Do I let him make the first move? But then it's like, for me, I'm like, I hate like playing games. So if I like someone, they're gonna know. But then you're also like unsure, right? And I think, I don't know.
No, I
It's
know what you're
hard.
saying. I think really depending on the situation, like you said, and reading it. But guys know that girls want you to come to them.
Yeah.
Take the leap of faith, take the step. If that is true though, I feel like guys they don't take very well with rejection. I do know that. Like like they're really like, if you reject them, it's like the end of the world for them, I think.
Yeah.
More percent than what we really know, you know?
Yeah. I know it's always like,
From
it's,
experience with guys telling me things, I'm like, I can tell that it's like they don't like to get rejected by women.
which I get it, but at the same time, if you don't try,
You'll never know. Just do it.
yeah. Man,
Read
come on, guys. No kidding.
read the signs, man. Like if a girl's like being like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, then take it. Come on. Listen.
Yeah. I know. I just think it's hard too, like dating in like, you know, 2025. It's like we're always on our phone. We're always, and like for me, and like I hope I can talk on behalf of like other girls, but like I hate when guys don't like come into your DM and gonna try to like talk to you online and like, but then in person they have a hard time coming to talk to you and like, or even say hi, but then they're always like talking to you on DM. And I'm like, come on, grow some balls here. I'm kidding. But like, you know what I mean?
I agree. I agree.
And then like recently there was a guy at the gym, like he came up to me and he came to you know that because I told you. But he came to introduce himself and I was very taken by surprise. I was like, okay, I like that. This is like, you know, this is very how do you say that? This is very like attractive because
Very
you don't have guys like coming up to you and just straight up, you know,
well, and especially
introducing himself and talk to you.
too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was kind of cute. But yeah, so it's like it is like it's just but now it's like really rare and like we're like all I think too like the problem is like we're all there like on our phone and like from experience even me like being single, right? It's like you go places and a lot of time I was like, okay, like I would love to have someone in my life, but then I come myself, you're somewhere, you're always on your phone instead of like, actually talking to people and like not be I think sometimes you're asking yourself like, okay, why it's not coming to me? Like why like you see those people dating one after another and I'm like, meanwhile, I can't even get like one date. But I'm also like, I think it started from like being open and like for the longest time I knew I wasn't in a place to even like date or like meet people. I was like, I need to heal, I need to focus on me. Um so I think it comes from like also being open because 2 years ago, I would be like, you could put the hottest guys in front of me, and I would
Mm-hmm.
not pay attention or even look at them because I was just not there.
Mm-hmm.
So I also like, are you putting yourself out there? Are you open? Are you, you know?
These are good questions to ask yourself.
Yeah. Because sometimes we blame it on like, okay, well, Like for me, I'm like, there's no cute guy, or like, not even that, but I'm like, nobody's interesting me, or like, but I was also not, I wasn't open. And
Mhm.
then I think also coming back to like, having a relationship with God and like having faith and like praying to God, but also you need to know what you want in a way, because it can give you someone in front of you that's like would be for you, but if you don't know what you want, it's gonna pass by.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
So
feel like you're in a different spot too in your life now, Val, right? Where it's like you said, like now you're open to it now. Like you're like, okay, like I'm here, like let's do this. Like new things in my life, and you're like, "Ugh, I don't want to be single for the rest of my life.
I know.
Lord, give me a good man. Give me a few of that. Like, give me like, let's have some options here.
I
You know,
know. Well, even that is hard. Like for me, like, I've been in one like real relationship for like 3, 4 years. And I'm not someone who really dates. I spend like so many years of my life being focused on me and like competing and everything. And I hate going on dates. I Not that I hate it. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not someone who's gonna like sleep with like I don't do one night stand. I don't like, is
Mhm.
that how you say that?
Yeah, one night
Yeah,
stand.
I don't even, okay, yeah. And I don't really like go on dates. I just like I'm very just focused on like, and I'm like, well, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But then you get to a point you're like, okay, like it's hard because also do you like, I don't know like what's your opinion on that? Obviously, like it was different for you, like, but do you think it's like God's gonna, when you're ready and then when you have the person for you, he's gonna like, he's gonna put that person in your life? And it's like, you're waiting from God, but like also like you also need to put yourself out there, right? So
Mhm.
it's like, what's your point of like dating in term of, I guess more like biblical, but I don't want to go too
I
much
think
into that too.
I feel like it's so. I feel like it's so much more than that, right? Like I feel like I could tell you that the way that my past was being single in my relationships isn't necessarily the way that I feel like it was just, I don't know, I guess you could say it wasn't like so like godly. My past, I felt like he put me in these situations that I would never put myself in. Like if I was just like,
Mm,
oh, Lord, you know what I mean? Like, but like the situation that I like to tell people that would not like you would think, oh, this doesn't come from God, right? Like my situation with my relationships and then meeting Mike, like that to me came in a form that was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like we would naturally think, okay, this is caution. You know what I
it's
mean?
like
Like
from Satan. You're like,
from Satan, right? So we have to be careful, and that's why we have to be open
mm,
to things. And I think sometimes we have to experience someone, even if they come in ugly, not like
yeah,
not physically, but even if they come in, and because I think who you are too, Val, you're a person that like loves hard and you're
yeah,
nurturing, and I think that for you, you're going to have someone that you can be that for as well. You know what I mean? And so I think that person may come not in this beautiful present, not saying that that's what you're expecting,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I think sometimes it can come and we don't even know. So I think, like you said, you just have to be
mm,
open. And
yeah,
the person comes along and you just have to experience it. And then, but just be open to meeting people and seeing like what works for you. And then I feel like once you're in it, you just like pray about it, like, okay, I
is
don't
that
know,
for me?
is this for me or no? Like, show me. Because
Yeah,
I'm confused and I don't know if I should keep on going with this person or if I just need to walk away.
I'm
You
confused. Probably the word I've used the most in the past
know?
2 weeks.
I'm so confused.
So confused. Please help. Send help.
I know. I know. That's what happened.
Yeah, no, I love that though. I think like it's funny because when I look back to like couple people I dated like in the past,
Mhm.
I feel like or even like being attracted to, and I'm like sometimes it was weird. It was like, why am I attracted to that person? And I feel like it was always like I'm trying to like save someone.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? So like my first boyfriend, if you can call it, was like my summer boyfriend, I guess. I was like 18. And it was actually like deep in like drugs. It was like to a point that Elis's dad. So I think that's kind of like what made it go so bad into like drugs. It would like be high every day, and like I would spend it was, for me it was like summer with my like actually Hannah, one of my best friend, and
Mhm.
would be every day with them. They would like at the skate park, and like and I was like in a relationship with him, but I never told my parents because they would probably
Like,
kill
what
me.
the heck? You're with that guy?
Yeah. And then, but then so many times he was sleeping at his friend, or sometimes he would even like high all night because he didn't have anywhere to like sleep because he wasn't speaking at his mom, like to his mom at the time. So it's like almost like for me, it wasn't even love. It was just me trying to like save him,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And then I got him to like reconcile with his mom. And then he went back moving in with his mom. And when I started school after the summer, I was like, okay, no, like, I can't do that. Like, it's not my future. But it's like a couple of times I feel like I've been put in that situation. I'm like, what? Like, is this like attraction? I'm just trying to save someone, you know? So it's like sometimes you need to like not like look at those signs, but I don't even know how to like explain that. But
No, but yeah, but that is Val. It's you looking at yourself and the things that like who you are as a person and how you are in a relationship and how you go into a relationship. And I could relate very much to that.
yeah.
To
Because
you.
sometimes I think like for me it's hard to receive, right? So it's like, okay, I'm maybe like gonna be attracted to like people or like, situation. I'm like, I can give because I'm not comfortable like receiving, even like if it's them paying for me like for a vacation or them paying for like, take care of me. And I'm almost like I think that's what's hard to be like alone for so long because you get so comfortable being on your own and you're like you take care of yourself. So now when someone else wants to take care of yourself, you're like, no, I got me,
Yeah.
like I don't need you. But you're like, yeah, I need like, I need
You
some.
do
But
need
then
them.
you're like, I want someone. But then you're like, no, I don't need you. Like,
Yeah.
so you need to
See,
learn to like be taken care of too, which is for me, it's like extremely hard.
that's crazy that you say that though, because I feel like I was the same way. Like I'm like, oh no, I can do this on my own. Like, I've been doing this on my own. But then I'm like, no, let him do that for
Yeah.
like if you want to carry all that stuff, carry all that stuff. You know
You
what I
want
mean?
to build that IKEA thing, you do it.
Do it. Like you don't need my help, do it. You know what I mean? Your arms
Yeah.
break loose doing that, that's on you. You know what I
I
mean?
think do you think it's coming from like I feel like I have a bit of like a masculine like how do
Yeah.
you energy, is that it?
Mhm.
And then sometimes it's like hard to tap into your like feminine energy because I mean even at the gym I'm like wearing like tomboy's clothes. I'm like oversized because I'm like I don't I like that's how I feel comfortable. I love it. And then the other day I had like more of like a little vest and I FaceTime my mom. She's like, wow, you're wearing a vest. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, well, you're always in oversized clothes. I'm like, I know. She's like, well, it looks good. You should wear that more often. I'm like, okay, I'll go buy some more. So then I went to buy the other vest.
You seem
But yeah,
very
that's a bit off topic. But
no, I like that because it should like you're thinking like maybe that's why like I can come off that way because of like because your masculine energy. You know what I mean?
yeah. And I think like going back to, I guess, like, I think the one thing that helped me, well, I guess helping me even in the moment to like with like opening myself up and stuff, it's like my relationship with God. I think when I was asking like, oh, like is God gonna show you, or you need to like take the leap and like obviously like get out there still, and like you, I'm not gonna find someone being in my room and just going to the gym. I think the biggest thing that God is doing and like is like really opening my heart and like changing my mind, because I feel like sometimes we have such an idea of like what we want, but it's not what we want, or like it's not what like we need. So it's like for me, I was always like, oh, like I'm gonna be with like a bodybuilder, like you have those like expectation ideas of like, well, I want to be. I think it's good to have expectation ideas of like what you want in a person, but I think when it comes to like you can be like, well, I want someone just in the industry or someone who's like I don't know, like a doctor. It's like it doesn't work like that. So for me, it was like, oh, I want to be like I'll be with a bodybuilder, so like we can like compete together and stuff. And then the more closer I got to God, I was like, actually, I don't think I'll meet my person in the gym. I think I'll meet my person at church. And then the more I'm like, okay, no, maybe I'm going the extreme now. I'm like, okay, no, but I think maybe like I'm not gonna be with a bodybuilder. I just need someone who like obviously respect my lifestyle and like would support me. But I feel like just my expectation or like people I would be attracted to are like way different now because it's more about, someone's heart and like their soul and like who they are than just, what they do and like how they look like
Mhm.
physically.
Yes.
So it's just been refreshing because at first I was like, well, it's gonna be hard to find someone. And now it's like, no, like, it's not my limitation. Like it's really about like someone who they are, which
Yeah.
it's always been like obviously a bit, but I think there was so much more expectation in terms of like, well, I just love like I'm just attracted to people with like bodybuilders. And now I'm like, no, actually I don't think I want to be with a bodybuilder.
Now you're like, I don't know. I've known a
They're a
lot.
hard job. Yeah. Kidding. I'm not nothing disrespectful about
Nothing
bodybuilders.
against
Like
that.
I'm
Yeah.
amazing people, yeah, but
But not like, you know what I mean? You want a little bit more than that because you know the
mhm,
sacrifice that goes into
yeah.
bodybuilding. A lot of, it takes a lot of people's lives. You know what I mean? Especially I feel
Mhm,
like for men in general,
yeah.
it's their whole life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want some more like, gonna go out, be adventurous,
Yeah.
different
Just bring
hobbies,
something else sometime.
like, maybe does something, you know, career wise that's, saving the country.
To yeah. Okay.
Fighting for the country. And like you can
I'm
either
out.
be Canadian or you can be an American, right, Val?
Yeah. Yes, I can come live in Texas with you.
I know. I would love for you to be here. Truly.
I know.
I really would
I
love
know.
to. But that's why I'm going to be coming out there in June. So,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Can't wait.
I
Wait to
know.
see the
But
new gym.
I know I'm really excited about the new gym. Should I do my
Yeah.
bonus now or let's see. What do we got?
Hmm. Is there any I think like
So, what are you going to do on Valentine's Day tomorrow?
let me see. I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna do cardio, I'm gonna go to gym, I have clients, and then I'm gonna train, and then I have more clients. I think I might be going. I think I was supposed to go for dinner with one of my friend in Toronto or like meet
Oh,
somewhere. So I might go for a steak with like one of my friend, but
okay, good.
um yeah, nothing like nothing crazy.
I
Don't
think
have a date here,
well,
unfortunately.
unless we get someone to freaking man's up. You know what I mean? Man's up and ask.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that you're
Well, maybe I'll have to be the man enough.
like,
Actually.
what I would think would be fun nowadays. Like, even if like people still did. Remember when we were in school and you'd bring the Valentine's Day card and you'd say, "Would you be my Valentine?" Things like that. Like, if even now, Val, if someone did that for you, I would say,
I would love that. This was the best.
like, that's fun. That's someone that's using their brain to like, okay, let's have fun here and let's be cute and send this to her. Like, I think that would be like, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm in love. Like
Yeah.
you ha- you
Yeah.
have, you have me.
Yeah, like guys just listening to that, even if it's like the obviously it's gonna be past Valentine's, but anytime, like a card or like little something, if you don't know where they live, whatever you obviously where you know that person from, you bring it to like or work or like
Yeah,
something like that. It's like, yeah, I remember Valentine's though, like you're like sitting in class and you're waiting to see if like they're gonna bring you a letter.
I
It's
loved
like
that.
the
I was like, oh my
best.
god. But then I'm thinking, what if no one doesn't want me to be their Valentine? You know what I mean? Because I was kind of like, you know what I mean? I don't
I
know.
know. And like I don't know, I feel like too like Valentine's Day for like like people single, like it kind of make not make me cringe. How can I say that? Like I'm not like it, people who hate on Valentine's Day and I know sometimes it's like memes or like people can like joke about it. But it's like it's actually not that big of a deal. Like people are like single or like depressed on Valentine's Day, And it's like
I
it's like a
hate
day like the other. Like, I think people are like putting so much emphasis on that. It's like, well, like you're handling it the other day. It's like, don't worry about like Valentine's Day. Like, it's not a big deal. You know what I mean? Even in a relationship, like, yeah, it's great, but then at the same time, like, what matters is also the whole relationship on the other like 364 days. I was hoping I got it right, but
good job.
thank you.
You know what's funny is that you brought that up because I was thinking about that earlier before we got on here. I was thinking things, and I was thinking, do people really get like upset on Valentine's Day, like if they don't have someone to be with, like even if they don't have friends, like they don't have like a bunch of friends, like do they sit at
Yeah.
home like, man, I'm really upset I don't have
I
anybody, like,
I
oh my
think there's people like very depressed about it, being like they're like like looking at
remind
people in
yourself.
a relationship and kind of like, I wish I had that. It's like I get it. Like we all want love, but at the same time, it's a big deal. And I think too, like I don't know, like for me, like being single, like I love it. I love it so much. Like it's almost like hard for me to like even like wanting to start dating someone because I'm like, okay, but I love being alone so much. There's so much you can do. You can actually, if you take the time that you're single, like so like you take advantage of it, there's so much good coming out of it because you can learn so much about yourself. You have so much time to like do anything you want. Either it's like going with friends, and like when you get in a relationship, then it's like you don't have time for that. Even
Mhm.
for me being like on my own, and like you come home after you're exhausted, you can just chill, do your thing. You don't, you do everything on your own time. But like the biggest thing is like I have so much time to like work on me and like actually get to know myself. So when I like get to meet someone, then it's like I know so much more about myself. But I think people just don't utilize that time,
Mhm.
enough.
No, they don't. They're just sitting there thinking, oh my God, I wish I had somebody, instead of taking
Yeah.
the time to learn about themselves and then really learn about themselves to where like they know what they want in
Hmm.
a partner, what they're looking for. And
Yeah.
because they'll be saying like, you, I love me, like you love you. You know what I mean?
You guys, I went to, so we're like, okay, let's do like a episode for like Valentine's and get
You love
something like pink. I love pink, but I have no clothes pink. I don't like wearing pink for
That's
some reason.
masculine energy.
Yeah, I know. I love like pink stuff. Like if I have like a phone cover, like, accessories, clothes, I just feel like I'm like a little especially being blonde. I think that's why when it's like too like pink, it's like Barbie.
I
I
know.
can't.
This
I
is
can't.
actually this is like a fuchsia. On here, I feel like I look at it, it looks kind of like hot pinky, but it's actually fuchsia. I
Yeah.
I don't like highlighter pink, like hot pink. I feel like, but I feel like I really like that color pink. I feel like that's almost like a blush.
A
Like
baby,
it's
yeah.
so pretty, and I really like that color on you.
Yeah. It's kind of cute. I just don't know where I'm gonna wear
And
it
it's
again. But
very
I went to buy it today for the occasion.
cute.
So
I love
yeah.
it. You look adorable. Okay. Bonus
I'm
questions.
scared. Okay.
Bonus. No,
We'll
this
see
is
how I do.
really bonus round. Okay. And so
What do
these
I get? Do I
these
get a do
huh?
I get a poem from Ashley if I get it right?
We'll have to write it out. I'm not that great. We'll have Mike write you one.
Okay.
No, you know what? Maybe I'll write you one. Maybe I'll write you a little duet, and on the next episode, I'll read it to you.
I love that.
You love that? I'm gonna
Yeah.
try. I'm gonna try because I think I could do it.
Okay. I
But
have
this is
I have
this
faith.
is this is bonus round, and these are obviously single questions, right? So these are for Val since she's single, and these are questions that I could answer as well. But these were some questions I thought of with her, and it's just questions that you guys could even think about, right? So like I figured if you guys want, you guys can even chime in, you know.
Put them in the comment below if you guys
Yeah,
want to answer them.
yeah, comment them below if you guys find any of them like, oh, I relate to you, Val, or this is me or whatever. So this is bonus round single questions, okay? Favorite Valentine's candy? Is there like Valentine's candy? Do you have one? Like is there something that like on Valentine's Day, like, okay, these are the kinds of candies that they give out?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Okay, chocolate. Do you have
All
like a
the way.
specific brand or like is there any like specifics that you could say or just chocolate?
Oh my, that's hard.
Dark chocolate or
Reese's.
milk chocolate?
Any chocolate is good.
Okay. You said Reese's. Reese's is so good. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, those Reese's like hearts. I
Mm,
mean, they taste the same, but they're cuter.
but they're cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next question. And this is for you guys as well. These are for you gals. Police officer or firefighter? And why?
Oh my
You had to
god,
choose,
you're killing me.
if you had to choose to be with one, or like you can only be with a police officer or a firefighter. Why?
Okay. Well, easy firefighter first. Reason.
You don't have to pick one, but if there's something maybe like
Well, first they're like saving lives, which is super sexy.
yeah.
Their schedule is great
Mm-hmm.
because they're like working what 4 times a month, something
I
like
don't think
that.
they work. Yeah, don't they have like have like shorter shifts?
Yeah, crazy shift, but like so you have so much time, with them. Um, and I know a cute one. That's all I have to say.
Well, I feel like the firefighters have always been. I always feel like I don't know.
That's a great answer.
One thing I said though is that I would never like date like a man in a uniform, like military. Nothing against.
Well, is firefighting not a uniform
I
though?
feel like if I had to pick, I'd pick a firefighter.
Yeah.
I would. So I agree with you, firefighter for sure. I just want
And
to.
then you can have a sexy date in
Yeah.
the truck.
Yes, and maybe we could put like one of those. No, that wouldn't work. Never mind. Never mind.
I want to know what you were about to say.
I don't know how I would. I don't even know where that came in my head. I was gonna say we can. I don't know. I'm not even gonna say it. Well,
Okay.
like in the firehouse, how they have like that big,
That pole?
that you can go to, like you could go to like your rooms, right? Like, don't you can go all the way down, obviously, to the first floor.
Yeah.
But are there other like little areas in there that you can like go down and then pop in there, or no?
Well, I know they have like a lot of time they have a gym and stuff because they can train and like. But I haven't been in a
Maybe we
fire like house for a while, like for like years. Like when I was young, actually, there was like one of we called him Coco, and he was like a firefighter. Yeah. And then he was like older, like he was like a friend of like my parents, but he was like, we loved him so much. And then he ended up like dying of cancer, but like, oh, we loved him so much.
Aww.
Yeah.
Coco.
So Coco.
So
Rest
firefighter,
in
though.
peace. Yeah.
Guys, police officer or firefighter? We're firefighters for us.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think that we might have spoke about dinner at home versus taking out to dinner. Why?
Like going out?
Yeah, like going out. Would you like? And this could be for Valentine's Day, honestly, or not.
I think I don't know. I think at home, to be honest, because obviously it's nice to go for dinner, but like I feel like you can go for dinner anytime. I just think like I don't know. It's like it's kind of fun. You're like you go get stuff, and then you're more like intimate, right? At home, it's like you don't have like a million of people around like listening to your conversation, especially like for like couple first date. I mean, I know it can be like tricky because like a couple first date, sometimes you don't want to go to like the person's house.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it can be fun just like cooking together and like you're kind of like a bit more, intimate.
Agreed.
There's not many people.
Yeah, I like more more personal. Like you're like, ooh, it could be all like cute, like ooh,
Yeah.
a piece of
Touch their butt as you cook.
yes apron, and you could put him like in an apron with like just nothing on underneath it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
His
and a firefighter hat.
There,
No, I'm kidding.
there you go. Bringing the hose in there too. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Okay.
you're killing
Okay.
me.
Here's a good one. Okay, guys. So this is a first date, right? So you're going on a first date with someone. You meet him. Hey, seems really cool. He asked you, hey, like, I'd like to take you out on a date. And you're like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Like, you're attracted to him. Like, he seems really nice. Like, you're like, okay, I want to get to know him. So he shows up with some really beautiful flowers. Like, oh my gosh. And then he has this present. And he's like, oh, here, right? And Val, obviously, we know, she gets a little uncomfortable. So she's like, oh gosh, I'm on the spot. Okay. Val, it is a present. You open it up. And it is like some kinky stuff, like some lingerie, like some stuff that you've never seen. And you just met this guy and he's taking you out on a first date. Like, and you open this in front of him and you pull out like this, like, it's like floss and like some weird thing. You don't know where it goes. But how would you respond? Like, and I feel like all of us women, like, I guess it depends on the situation, but like,
I love you so much. You're so funny.
How do you think that you would respond to it? Like, what do you think your reaction would be?
Oh my God, I would run. Okay, no, I'm kidding.
Wow.
I don't know. I think I would like start laughing, to be honest. I would be so uncomfortable.
You'd be so uncomfortable. You'd be like, oh.
So uncomfortable. I don't even know. I feel like I can't even put myself there. I'm like, what would you do?
What would you do? I would probably be like,
I feel like you would. I feel like you're good at, like, those situations.
I'd be like, is this a joke?
That's so something you would say.
Yeah. Is this a joke or is this like, I don't know how to take this?
Like, is it a prank? Am I being filmed?
Yeah. Can I keep this, but I don't have to wear it for you, right? Trying to come up with something. Try to come up with something where he's like, oh, no. Okay, thank you. Now let's go out to dinner and you can pay for my dinner.
But then I'll wear it with someone else. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Unless he's like, I'm very like I said, depends on the situation. Depends on where you're at.
Well, but like not first date though.
Not on the first date though. Like I would think,
Creepy.
What I would think, this guy's a creep.
Well, the thing is, like, for me, it's like, I think like, and I'm not trying to say that, but like I haven't slept with someone in like probably 3-4 years. Well, probably 3 years. And like I just don't date at all.
She's like, probably 3 years.
This is so bad.
Maybe 2. Actually,
so that's how open I'm gonna be. No, it's actually been like at least 3 years, and I just don't sleep with people. I just, if I am not in, like, if I don't date someone or I'm not in a relationship, I'm not going around sleeping with people. For me, sex is very, very like special and like sacred. So like I would be like, like the first date he brings that, it's like, what are your intention? I would be like, yeah, no.
Red flag for sure. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Like, no, this guy doesn't have good intention, especially just meeting each other and like, hey, I want to take you on a date, be nice. And then he gives you beautiful flowers, okay? Right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, those are giving a woman beautiful, usually flowers, that means like, oh, you know what I mean? And then giving her some kinky lingerie. Manipulator.
But I'm sure it will work with a lot of women. That's the thing.
Sure. Especially if she's like, I just want to like I said, depends on the person. She's like, hey, I just want to get laid. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll put it
like,
on.
Cool. Don't have to pay for it.
Yeah. I don't pay. Yeah. Throw the flowers. Screw the flowers. You know what I mean? Screw that. Okay. Going on to, obviously we're talking about flowers. I just put flowers versus plant. Like, and why? Like, would you prefer like a guy to give you like some flowers, or like what if he gave you a plant? And why?
I would say flowers just because I feel like a plant is such a weird, here's a cactus.
Yeah.
And I also like, I mean, I'm not like, flowers are like pretty. I'm just not much of a flower person because seriously, I make them die so easily. Same thing with my plants. That's why I have a fake plant.
Especially as a fake plant.
Yeah.
But we did take our date seeds and I was gonna make a palm tree, but I ended up.
Wait, yeah, how are they doing?
They're not doing that great. It takes too long. It takes like 10 years. I don't have the patience for that. Like, I'm not putting them in soil and doing that. Like, we'll just buy
10 years? Yeah, no.
That's too long, Val. I can't.
That would have been nice though.
I know.
Imagine.
Maybe again, I'll try.
No, it's okay. Don't go. I can promise that it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah,
But
but
yeah, I would say flowers.
okay. What would you guys say? I don't know what I would do. It depends on my mood. I don't know. It depends on like if I'm like, that'd be good. I need a plant. Hopefully it gets me one.
If you bring me a mallow, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. And then on here, so when I think of Valentine's Day, I think obviously like it's either red or pink, right? Like we either,
Yeah.
I feel like us girls kind of either wear like red or pink. So I put red versus pink. And then I put on here, like, if you think that this is like the case, like obviously you pick, what color would you pick?
Between pink or red?
Yeah. Well, you've got both on.
True. I feel like I don't know, like I feel for me like more pink. I know like blonde with red is like looks really good. I just like the second I put red, like wear red or something, it just I don't know if it's like too much for me. I'm just like I don't know, it's just like I actually hate red.
So do I.
Like
I know. I used to hate it too, Val.
really, eh? I don't know why. Nah, I hate it, but like I'll never have like a red phone case. I have nothing red. Like I have a Tupperware with red. I'm like I hate it. I need to like buy a new one.
I
It's so
agree.
weird. It just
I know.
but I know like blonde like wearing red is like very like nice and like a nice color. It's I don't know.
You're just unattracted to it. So you're like, I don't want to put this color on me.
Yeah.
You feel like, I remember always, like, I would tell Mikey, like, I didn't like red because I would think of like, and he's like, well, red is like love. And I'm like, yeah, but like, for some reason, when I would see red, it was a very like bold color, right? But it was almost like ugly to me, where it just like, it wasn't, it was a color that was colorless to me, if that makes sense. Like, it's like so bold and just like, and it kind of reminded me, I don't know why, but I would think of like Satan.
Yeah.
If
But
that,
like
but even though like I colored my hair red and I do wear red now, but like I think of it as love now when I do wear red and I like the color on me, but I know what you mean because I feel this,
mm,
I'm not as drawn to it in that way, even
yeah,
though
I
like,
guess it's what you associate your like the color with, right? It's like if I
yeah,
think of red, the first thing that pops in my head is like a stop sign.
yeah, that's true.
I don't know why. But like it's like nothing like really cool or pretty. It's
Stop.
like
Like, it's like, okay, no, not good. Stop. Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's almost like I'm like I in my head is like like negative, something like,
Something bad.
yeah, so I'm just like
Yeah. No, that okay. Well, that makes sense. That's why I just wanted to see because I feel like colors to us can like colors are like energy. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
what we're drawn to. And so I know that like red to me was the same too. It's crazy. And like pink, it depends on the pink, right?
Like yeah, like a very like flashy pink or like strong pink. I'm like
Yeah.
I
And I
don't
was
know
seeing
why.
this lady today, and it's really actually it's here in Texas. It's like it's dark and gloomy, and like obviously it's winter time and certain colors. But this lady was wearing like this nasty looking like hot pink leggings. And like the first thing I thought when I looked, I'm like, oh, why is she wearing those? And Mike was like, oh, it's not the color for the season. I'm like, it doesn't matter what season it is. Like that is an ugly color. But then I caught myself being that way, and I'm like, that's so silly for me to think like that. But
I
it's like
know.
I'm drawn to like certain colors, and so
I
like
know.
you could say that about me, like what color is she wearing? But I don't know. I just think I'm like, it was hideous. Like you need to take those off.
I know. I'm the same with clothes though. Like I'll go like if I wear like colorful clothes, I have such a hard time. And then like if I end up like going out of the house with those clothes, an hour later I'll be like, what did I do?
I know, same.
I get so annoyed.
I know. It's like you feel
Unless
like,
it's like pastel. I'm like,
yeah, I could see that.
yeah, it's funny. Even like with like makeup stuff and like I know you have like and like what you can wear and stuff, you have like color like how's it called? I see that more and more now. It's like depending on like your color skin, you have like color like that.
Oh,
Like
like the undertone of color, or
yeah, things like that like goes really well with you, like color, like even color of makeup, color of like yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. I think I found out throughout the years. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
know sort of like makeup, but I think color wise, I feel like I'm like, usually notice certain things, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, tall, medium, or short? And this is for men.
Oh, okay. I would say tall. I mean, I've never been like really like didn't care that much about like height, but like I'll also want someone who's like taller than me, and I'm like 5'2", so it's really not shouldn't be really hard, you know.
It's
So
hard.
it's like yeah, so like at least like a bit more than me or like tall. I'm good with.
Yeah, he could be like 5'5", and he'd be good. No, you want someone taller than that. That's like that's fine.
Yeah, five. Yeah, I'm 5'3", 5'6", 5'6", 6 foot. I don't know.
Okay, tall. I get it. Tall's good. Someone
Yeah.
you want to be able to wear heels and him be taller, and you want to feel like like you're like all like safe in his arms, and you're like, oh my gosh, like you're so protected.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I've got two more. Okay, What's the worst Valentine's Day gift you've ever given or you've received, if you can remember? Because there's been like freaking 5 years,
7.
7 years to be exact.
Oh my god. The worst is probably not. That's all I can remember.
Aw, be
No,
my
don't be sad. Yeah, I will
Be my
be.
Valentine. I can have more.
It's like my best Valentine's date in 7 years.
I know.
This is this podcast.
It is. I know. See, so this is like art. This really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, I can't even remember.
Yeah. Maybe not getting anything, I guess. I don't know. So I can
I'm
think.
sure like my ex like gave me like Valentine's gift, but it
Yeah.
was always like kind of like centered around like food and like snacks and chocolate.
Same.
So and it would like I'm pretty sure he got me flowers before, but
Yeah.
yeah.
That's nice. I feel like Valentine's Day is like it's just like cute little things. Like you don't need to get
Yeah.
like oh here's a humongous present. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
Blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes, or hazel. I know. These are simple questions to see what kind of.
I don't know. I guess like I've never been like even when people ask me like what's your
Like type. Like what you
type, I can't even like describe a type. Like yeah, I want someone taller. Like I feel like obviously it's nice like someone with like blue eyes or hazel or like green. But like I've just always been like attracted to like like vibe and like just like feelings, right? So it's like even if I would talk to like someone online, it's like the second I meet the person, I know instantly. And it happened to me like a couple of times, not many time again, but it's just like, I would meet them in person. I was like, the second I meet them in person, I was like, nope, I know like right away. I just like, I'm such a like vibe person that like, even like,
It
I
doesn't
can
matter what
get like, yeah, I can get like very surprised by someone. I'm like, what? Like, I like, not in a bad way, but I'm like, why am I attracted to that person? Because but it's like I'm such about like vibe and like I guess like smile too, like someone with like a like I'll look at their smile before like their eyes. It's like I love like a really nice smile. It's
Yeah.
like it's probably one of like yeah my favorite thing on like a man. It's like
Mhm.
a
It's
smile.
a smile. You know what I
It's
mean?
all in the smile.
I love it. I love getting going.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just trying to make you think. You know what I mean? I love that though. Yeah. I feel like eyes in a smile is really the window to the soul. It's like
Yeah.
someone's spirit, even if they are like kind of like they have like a wall up. You can still
Yeah.
see their trueness when they have like a real smile in like your eyes. Like you can see someone's soul through their eyes. That's why when I talk to people, I like looking them in their eyes because
Mm,
I can tell if someone is being honest with me. Like, I feel like I can read people very well when I'm like looking at you in the eyes. I can tell by the way you act. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's why they say the eyes never lies, right? And
Yeah.
like even like how someone I want to learn about that too. Like, when people either what they say or like if you talk to someone and he's lying to you, they're not looking into your eyes. And like it's actually something I have a hard time with that I want to work on is like being comfortable looking at people like in people's eyes when I talk to them because sometimes like there's people I have a hard time. I get like not intimidated. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes just not comfortable, and I just
It's not
have
comfortable. Yeah.
yeah, I have a hard time. It's like, and I think too, like coming back to like meeting someone and finding someone. I think like the more comfortable you're able to really look at them in their eyes and being comfortable with that, it's like goals, right?
Yeah. I know you can do it. I'll make you be like, Val. So tell
Look
me,
at
I know. I have to say something really quick because I just made me think of this. So I dated somebody that we were like obviously staring at the eyes and we were talking about it and I'm like, and he's like, yeah, I don't stare at people in their eyes. And he actually like he was like a bartender and he waited, right? And obviously when you're doing that, you talk to people and you're looking them in the
hmm
eyes, right? And so he's like, I don't look at them in the eyes. I'm like, well, where the hell do you look? And he was like, I look in between their eyes. I was like, how? What do you mean you? And so I tried it, and
So
I'm
you
like,
look at like the nose.
yeah, like right in between. So if I'm talking to you, Val, I'm looking in between. I'm looking at like the top of your bridge of your
That
nose,
is funny. I'm
and
like
I'm
looking
like,
at that too right now.
and it's like weird. Like I'm like, really? I'm like, that doesn't make you go cross-eyed.
Yeah, I feel like my eyes are like getting. That's funny. Oh my god.
I don't remember what he said, but I'm like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, why don't
I
you
would
just
like look at their mouth first to like, see their lips move at
look at
least.
their mouths and then like look up? But to look like between their eyes is just like you're weird. Someone I dated just weird things.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't end up with him.
Yeah, I'm just like that is so weird. So like I'm like, do you look at me in the eyes? Like I mean, I don't know. It just was weird because if you look at someone between right there, it looks like they're actually looking at you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't.
But
When I tried it, I actually tried it with Mike, and I was like, it looks like you're looking at me. I'm like, that's trippy. Like, I don't like that. So I'll be like this, looking at one eye to see like if it's like you're looking at me. But yeah, so I was.
oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so those are my little
Love
questions.
that.
They were just like random things. I was like, I'm gonna kind of ask.
Oh no, that was good. I love that.
Uh,
It
but
helps me too sometimes. When you're like, I feel like for the longest time, like I don't even know, like, not my like, yeah, I don't know myself or like because we don't always like, spend the time to like ask ourselves question too, right? So
I know. So that's why I was like, oh, maybe this will get her juice flowing. Oh, I love you, Val.
oh, me too.
I know you're gonna find an amazing person. When the time comes, someone's great.
Yeah. Keep praying to God and just keep, being open
Yeah.
and yeah,
For you ladies, the same. You know what I mean? For you single ladies, the same. Like
take
work
your
on
time.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, work on yourself. And
Mhm.
if you've been jumping from relationship to relationship and you feel in a place that you're like, man, it never works. Maybe there's a reason why, and just maybe you need to like, spend some time alone and really just, take that time for yourself. And I know like some people are like stressed and be like, well, I want to find someone. I'm getting older, but it's like it's not by just jumping from people to people without knowing yourself that you're gonna get there. You're just gonna like waste your time in a relationship that's not gonna get you anywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's my biggest advice that I can give as a single
Yeah.
person.
Single side, and for my married ladies or ladies in a relationships, like you're pretty much married. I just think have fun, get to know the person, let them get to know you, but also put your guard down and really just let them do for you. And I feel like that's what they want to do for us. Like I feel like in their nature, it's like for us to do for us. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
so a lot of times us women are like, I got it, like let's do this, and I'm you know what I mean? well aware that I can do that. But I feel like I noticed that when I let that down and I let Mike do things for me, it helps me because it makes me like feel more like, oh, I don't know. It puts me in this weird, like that feminine energy,
Yeah.
not that I'm like that all the time, but there are times where like it's just my second nature to like, okay, I'll do it. I'll take care of it. You know what I mean? And so like, I don't want to take that away from him. Like he wants to do these things for me. I'm gonna let him do them for me. So
Yeah.
let your man do for you, but also be aware of, his needs and your needs. I just think it's effort for both sides.
Yeah.
And have fun, go out, take little trips, even if it's once a month, like do things to help your relationship and find what you guys like to do together. So just get to know them on different
Yeah.
levels, I think is what I would really say for my girls that are in relationships. That was
Oh,
fun
I
though.
love that. I
Yeah.
know it's been like an hour and 25, so
Yeah,
it's good. But
yeah.
I think you guys are going to be sick of us now. So, or you've gone too much cardio up by this time. So, if you didn't do it on cardio like I do.
Thanks for joining us, guys, on our Galentine's girl chat.
Yay.
Yay.
Love you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing, or you had an amazing Valentine's Day. And if you were alone, I hope that, love find your way.
Yep.
So, see you
Yeah.
guys.
We'll chat with you guys later. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.